Okay, so we are going to go over questions 151 to 160 today. Here are the first 5, and let's start off with the first one on 151. So here it says, what are the simplified values of the exponential expression? You are definitely going to need a calculator today. So if you don't have a calculator, please just grab a calculator off another desk. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this part right here. So go ahead and circle that part right up there. The top part here is the root. Or no, sorry. The top part here is the exponent. I apologize. Bottom part here is the root, okay? And generally how this works is that you're going to have a square. 16 goes on the inside of that. Your exponent is 1. That's the exponent. Your root is going to be right here, and that root is 4. Do you guys see the 4 right there? So you're like, okay, so which one is my answer to this? So with your calculator, let's go to your calculator right here. You want to do 16 to the 1 over 4. So you're going to click on 16, so 1 and 6. So type in 1, 6. Then do you see that little caret right there, you guys? That little caret. Put that little caret right there. Then you need parentheses. So draw the parenthesis right here. Then type in inside your parenthesis 1 divided by 4, close parenthesis. And then enter. What do you guys get? Make sure you know how to use your calculator. 16 caret parenthesis 1 divided by 4, close parenthesis, enter. What is it? 2. Yep. You should get a 2, which is right here. And all essentially what it means is that it's saying 2 to the 4th power, which is 2 times 2 times 2, 4 times equals 16. And that is your answer. So today you're going to have that calculator. I'm going to show you guys all the buttons so you know how to use it. And again, you guys have 19 videos on the YouTube channel. So make sure if you do not have those pages that you come see me after school, get them, and then get that fixed. Oh, here's the 2 charts. All right, number 52. What is equivalent to that? So I just showed you guys how to do this, right? In your calculator, put 216 caret 1 divided by 3. Enter. What do you guys get? If you answer it correctly, you should get a 6. And why is it a 6, you ask? Because it's saying 6 to the 3rd power, okay? Which is 6 times 6 times 6. Does it equal 216? Yes, it does. So your answer is 6. And again, you got to have your calculator and push the darn buttons so you guys know how to do this, okay? I know you're like, but my finger's tired, my finger hurt, I don't want to do it. But you have to do it. You got to know where the buttons are. All right, 53. This is a little bit different. What is the greatest common factor of 8 and 40? So you want to highlight the word common factor. And what it's asking you is, what is the biggest number that can divide into 8 and 40? Now I know you're like, okay, well, I can divide by 2. That's true, but that's not the biggest number. You can also divide it by 4. That's true, but it's not the biggest number. The biggest number in this situation is 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 40 divided by 8 is 5. So your answer is 8. I know you're thinking like, well, why didn't you include the X and the Y, Callahan? Because this one only has an X and this one only has one Y. There is nothing there that is common. They don't share both the X and the Y because they don't both all have it, okay? And the key word here is common. So if I want to use the X, there better be an X on the Y if I have to use it. And if there's no X on that one, it's not common. They both do not have it. And they both need to have it in order for you to use it. $54, you guys. When simplified, this is 12. Which one is a possible value of X? Well, that is just not nice. I don't like that question at all. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. All right. So here's the rule. You have a to the second power times a to the fourth power. It's a to the 2 plus 4. Do you guys see that rule right there? So if I apply that rule to this, x to the 1 over 8 times x to the 3 over 8, that's equals x. What do you do with the fractions? You add them, just like the a's. 1 plus 3 is a 4. 8 stays on the bottom because the denominator is not changing the fraction. And you can reduce it to 1 over 2. So you have x to the 1 over 2 equals 12. So essentially what you're doing is you're asking yourself, remember the first one is a root or exponent. I keep playing root, it's exponent. Bottom number here is the root. So here's my x to the 1 power root 2. The square root of which number here is going to give you a 12? Think about it. Square root of 6, square root of 24, square root of 144, square root of 256. Which one there is going to give you a 12? I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that 12 times 12 is 144. So the square root of 144 is 12. So my answer is 144. All right, last one, tower break. You guys take a look at this one. This is not difficult. 256. Put the little caret, parenthesis, 3 divided by 4, close parenthesis. Then click enter on your calculator. And you should know that it's going to be 64 because if you do 64, remember this is your root to the 4th power. This is your exponent squared. It's going to give you 256. Or I'm sorry, I did it backward. 256 equals 64. Check. All right, you guys, you're going to have a 10-minute break. And during that 10-minute break, you guys have a reflection piece that I want you guys to focus on. And so you're going to go ahead and take a look at this part right here and answer the following questions for week 14, Monday. So make sure you guys take out your QR code and do that. So you guys, we're going to go over the next set of questions at 156 to 160. So those will be the last 5. These are your 5 questions right here. And we'll start off with 156. So go ahead and read the question. Take a moment. So if you look at this question right here, you don't just have one question, you have actually several. Several different answers. And so if I take a look at this right here, it says select 2 options. So obviously there are more than one answer, so that's correct. So there are 2 different answers here that are deemed as accurate questions. All right, my 4th pin finally worked. Just have to try the other 3. Which term have the greatest common factor? So you want to highlight the word greatest common factor. So what it means is, what do they share? Okay, so you have 5m squared n squared. And so what you're looking at is whatever you have here have to be on the inside of these answers, okay? So it's not A, because guess what? A doesn't have a 5. You must have 5. Whatever answers you choose, you must have 5, 2 m's, and 2 n's. Does that make sense, you guys? This one doesn't have a 5. That's not it. Next question, next answer, B. Does it have a 5, at least 2 m's, and then 2 n's? Yeah, because there's the 5, there's the 2m, and there's the 2 n's. So this one is definitely an answer for B, okay? Let's take a look at C. For C, you have 5 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4m, and 1 n. Unfortunately, you need to have 2 n. That's only 1 n. So does not qualify. So it's not C. Take a look at D. D is 5 times 3 is 15, 2m, 2n. And when you look at this, does this have the 5? Yes, it does. Does it have the 2m? Yes, it does. Does it have the 2n? Yes, it does. So that's another answer. So C is definitely another answer. Take a look at D. With D, nothing times 5 gives you 24. So that's not an answer. So A and D are your answers, and that's how you determine which one is the correct answer. All right, let's take a look at 157, you guys. Go ahead and read that question. The expression 40x squared minus 65x plus 50 represents the sum of 2 interior angles. So I'm gonna go do interior angles. Pentagon. Interior angle just means inside angle. That's an interior angle. Pentagon means 5, a shape with 5 sides. If the interior angle of the pentagons are equal, which represents the measure of the 2 different angles? That's interesting because this is more of a geometry question, but sure, we could definitely do this. Okay, so keyword here is two angles. All right, so let's first draw a pentagon. Pentagon has 5 sides. There's my pentagon, right? Sum of this is going to be sum. So that means angles 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 plus angle 5 equals 40x squared minus 65x plus 50. You guys are all in geometry, so you know that's fine. We can figure this out. How many angles are there? 5, right? So I have to divide the whole thing by 5. So I can figure out what is one angle. So then one angle is when I divide this by 5. What's 40 divided by 5? 8. What's 65 divided by 5? 13. What's 50 divided by 5? 10. Well, the question here says it has to be 2 angles, right? So then 2 angles would just be a 2 times 8x squared minus 13x plus 10. So then which answer shows me this? Right here. So this question was a little tricky because there's like literally 4 skills. You have to know interior angles. You got to know what a pentagon is, which is like a first grade, skill. You got to know how to divide it. So that's skill 3. Then you got to find one of the angles, that's skill 4. And then you got to find 2 of the angle, which is skill 5. So 5 different skills. So this is not an easy question, but it wasn't too bad. All right, 58, you guys, go ahead and take a moment and read that question. The function could be represented on which coordinate planes? Okay, so with this one, f of x, you want to write that down, equals ax minus h squared plus k. That's the formula I want to write down. Now, this k value tells you to go up or down. Okay. Well, do you see how the vertex here, this is h, k? Well, h is a positive number, but k is a negative number because it's going down. Okay. So then that means in your equation, that needs to be a negative number. Okay, k has to be a negative number. And if you look at it, a and b are positive. So those are not the answers because it's a positive 6. You want a negative 6 because it's going down, it's negative. Okay, so then you want to take a look at the h. If you look at the h, do you see it as a positive? It has to be a positive because it's going this way, right? Your k is going down, but your h is going to the right. If it's going to the right, that means h has to be, if it's a negative h, it's going to the right. If it's a positive h, it's going to the left. So your h have to be a positive number. Sorry, negative number. I just wrote right here, negative h is to the right. So then looking at your answer here, you have a positive 8 and a negative 8. Which one do you want? You want a negative h, so it has to be a negative number. So the only one that works is D as in dog, okay? That's the only one that works because it's x minus 8 squared minus 6, which means it's going 8 units to the right, 6 units down, which is exactly what you have here. 8 minus 6. 8 to the right, 6 down. right, second to last question, you guys. You are almost there, I promise. We're almost done. A square has a perimeter. So keyword here is square. Second word is perimeter. Square, you know what a square looks like. Perimeter is like you're building a fence. Like how much fencing material do you need? So first things first, let's go ahead and draw a square. Has a perimeter of 12x plus 52. So P equals 12x plus 52. Which expression represents the side of the square? So your side is going to be x, 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 and x. So if I do all four sides, that's just going to be 4 sides is equal to x plus x plus x plus x, which is 4x. And that's equal to 12x plus 52, which is a perimeter. So my goal here is to solve for 1x. So what do I do here? Well, I mean, I could just divide by 4, right? Divided by 4, divided by 4, divided by 4. And that's not bad. I mean, one side is an equal, what's 12 times divided by 4? 3x. What's 52 divided by 4? 13. And that's one side. So looking at this, which one's your correct answer? Which one matches that? C as in cat. That's the only one that works. All right, last question, you guys. Take a moment and read that. All right, which graph represents this? All right, so first things first. First thing you should notice is that this negative x squared, and my pen stopped working, so hopefully I'll have another pen that works. Okay, negative x squared is a sad face. Positive x squared is a happy face. So it can't be any of the happy faces, so just cross that out. Plus 5 means it's 5 up. So which one is a sad face? 5 up. Well, this one's a sad face, but see how, do you see how that 5 is to the left? This one's a sad face and it's 5 up. So A as an apple has to be it, okay? And that's how you determine that answer for this one. All right, you guys. So go ahead and highlight what your level of understanding is. And for the last 10 minutes on your desk, your question is, if you could invent anything, what would it be? For me, I would like a time stop machine so I can stop time and get an extra 5 hours. So write your answer on your desk. Ms. Jensen, what would you do with your extra 5 hours?